Okay, and we're back, and we're going to spend some time with Ted Pike, who has done more to try to protect our freedom of speech than any single American I can think of, and he's been at it for a long time. The so-called hate laws, of course, as you know, are the usual backdrop to our conversations, which do have a wide-ranging subject matter, and tonight we're going to talk about something a little different. There seem to be more and more problems appearing within the rabbinic community, shall we say, having to deal with sexual excesses and so forth. Anyway, it's a weird scene. We've got a story. Netanyahu, not Netanyahu, a rabbi has been charged with raping a 12-year-old girl. This is in Ynet News, an Israeli news outlet, and this is not the first one. There have been many issues of similar bent, of sexual deviancy, in the ranks of the rabbis and other members of the faithful. Anyway, let's find out more about this and what's going on with Reverend Ted Pike. Hi, Ted. Welcome back.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Yes, I just sent out another e-alert basically vindicating an article I wrote 2 or 3 years ago in which I thoroughly documented from the Babylonian Talmud, which is the highest ethical and religious legal authority for Orthodox Jews in the world today. I documented that, yes, some of the earliest and most prestigious Talmudic rabbis were pedophiles and strongly advocated the sexual molestation, particularly of little 3-year-old girls, even of little boys by women, 9-year-old boys, advocated it as binding Jewish law. And my premise is that this substratum of permissiveness and actual encouragement of pedophilia, which exists in the Talmud, is being acted out today by many Orthodox rabbis. And in my latest article, I document at least 10 or 14 or 15 outstanding cases, pending indictments against such Orthodox leadership.
Well, this is another weird one. Let me just read verbatim from this story, because it's again nothing new. It's a common thread, and it's not restricted to people of the Jewish religion either. Let me make that clear. This just happens to be another one in that particular file. Last July, the defendant, a rabbi, asked the victim to wait for him early in the morning at a Netanya intersection. It's a community over there. He picked her up in his car and drove her to the beach. There he told her that she is fated to become the Messiah's mother and that she must atone for all the bad deeds that she has done so far by having sexual relations with him. Smart man. He then conducted a marriage ceremony with the girl while still in the car and swore her to secrecy. At one point, he asked her to take her clothes off and assaulted her. The rabbi told the girl on several occasions that she possesses, quote, destructive forces that might erupt and cause people to die, end quote, and that in order to control these forces, she must have intercourse with him. He also said that she would save her mother by having sex with him. He reportedly assaulted her at several locations, including his office. Moreover, the rabbi asked the girl to bring friends to him, and so she led it's not a very smart girl, folks, she led 2 other girls to his office. He told each one that the war of Gog and Magog, Armageddon, is near, and that she is fated to become the mother of the Messiah and save the people of Israel. The Central District Prosecutor's Office has motioned to extend his remand until the completion of the legal proceedings. A good neighborhood rabbi at work. That was not in the news story, I added that. Anyway,
yeah.
It's just...
Well, you see, this, if you read behind the lines, between the lines in this article, which I have here also, in fact, I'll probably be coming out with an article about this Ynet article tomorrow. This is loaded with Kabbalistic Orthodox theology, eschatology, mysticism, and so on. This is an ultra-Orthodox rabbi. He's steeped in the idea that there are occult forces very strong occult demonic forces that can be brought under control by his advocacy and through his curses or through his intervention. And these ultra-Orthodox Jews are extremely suspicious, I should say superstitious people. They wear amulets, they believe in the evil eye curse, they believe in demons and privies and all kinds of stuff like this coming out of the Talmud. There's also an eschatology here in which these Orthodox and the ultra-Orthodox believe, along with John Hagee and the evangelicals. In fact, they're in agreement that there's going to be a big war coming up. And in fact, I wrote an article a week or two ago in which I quoted Michael Savage, who was quoted in WorldNet Daily saying the next big thing now is this big apocalyptic war, and Obama is actually laying the groundwork for a big apocalyptic war that's coming. That's what this rabbi is talking about here to a 12-year-old girl. He's saying there's a big apocalyptic war here coming, and then this terrible Prince of Russia, Gog, is going to come down and going to try to destroy the nation of Israel, but he'll be thrown back because the Jewish Messiah will come on the scene and deliver the people and so on. And so all these Orthodox Jews, including this 12-year-old girl, are waiting in keen anticipation for the war of Gog and Magog when Gog and Magog, Russia, and all of his confederate nations are thrown back and the Messiah will appear. And so this rabbi is religiously manipulating this little girl to flatter her to think that, lo and behold, she's the equivalent of the Virgin Mary. She's going to bring in the Messiah that will deliver the Jews from destruction. And if she'll just have sex with him, then she can make that happen. That's pretty enticing entrapment, isn't it?
Well, it sounds like he was to be the father of the Messiah, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a little bit of an ego trip, isn't it? Doesn't that kind of make him sort of godlike?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't understand how a child at the age of 12 can be so ill-equipped by their parents to deal with something like this. This is I guess the obedience in this man's local little neighborhood group was consummate, just like the obedience in some of these radical Christian religions, just like the Catholic Church abusing young boys. Come on, it's not the province of the Jewish faith, but it has its own earmarks, its own history, which goes way back, as you said, and so yeah, it's
well, we have to remember how highly regarded these rabbis are. The Talmud teaches that when a great sage, a great Talmudic rabbi, like Rabbi Akiba or Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai, who actually advocated child sex,
that's in the Talmud.
Oh, absolutely. Simeon ben Yochai, let me just tell you a little bit about Simeon ben Yochai. He is considered probably the very greatest rabbi, Talmudic rabbi of all time. And every year in the city of Meron in Israel, these Orthodox Jews gather by the tens of thousands in his birthplace, Meron. And for a whole week they dance and they sing and they bring up the vibrations of activity, which is dancing and singing and all kinds of high energy activity, which they believe will cause the Jewish people to ascend to a higher metaphysical or theosophical state, higher up on the what are called the levels of the Sephirot, taking them up to the essence of God. And he is the center. He is the center of this adoration by tens of thousands of ultra-Orthodox Jews for a full week. Now, he is the very one who says, in the most blatant, the most pointed language, that it is the right of a rabbi, of a Jewish male, to take as his bride a 3-year-old baby girl, and the very act of copulating with her is the marriage ceremony. There's no need for any marriage ceremony except by that. When he rapes her, she becomes his. So here we have this rabbi out in a car with this 12-year-old girl performing the very marriage ceremony of copulating with this little girl, which is endorsed by the greatest rabbi, much greater authority than Moses himself, to Talmudic Jews today.
Well, he's just following orders then, isn't he?
Yes, absolutely.
That'll be his out. Ah, jeez, what a world. Hold on, back with Ted Pike, and we'll continue our conversation. Lots ahead. Stay with us.